last year in April 2024, I was owed over $50,000 in payouts from something called prop firms. And prop firms are an opportunity for traders to make money from a small investment as low as $29. It works by buying a challenge, passing these evaluations without breaking any of these rules, and in return and reward, you will receive up to 90% of these profits you make. That's insane, right? So my next challenge and this company that I'm going to try in 2025 is FundedNext. This is long overdue, if I'm honest. I did a whole series with FTMO last year in 2024, and I basically bought the challenge. I failed the challenge. I've done over 20 of them before I got my first payout. And more importantly, I'm about to cross 100K. The best thing about FTMO is the number one in the prop firm industry, one of the most reputable brands that are out there. And in second and third were a company called MyFundedFX, which went under due to the CFTC, the Funded Trader, which was one of the companies that owed me money. But one of the companies that have stood firm since all of this mess is a company called FundedNext. Without this whole situation of what everything's done, I stood away from doing any new challenges for quite a while. And as you can imagine, it was quite an attack and just a frustrating period for me to do all of these challenges, to spend all my time doing all of these challenges, not only to lose pretty much 50% of my funding and $50,000 worth of payouts. It really demotivates me from trading. So I basically took the rest of 2024 off, but since then prop firms have been back on the rise because all of the firms that went under were firms that had unsustainable models anyway. And not only that, a lot of things were cleaned up in the prop firm industry. And I'm sure if you're watching this video, you can feel the positive outlook of the prop firms in 2025. More importantly, the opportunity is there to make so much money that it's an abundance. We've seen Kyle do 1.2 million in terms of payouts. That's life-changing amount of money. Me myself have done up to 400K. There are plenty of people in the space who have done it, and more importantly, you can see just from the challenges and how the model works, how the company makes money and how you have an opportunity to make money if you stuck with it. So this year, one of my biggest goals is to get $1 million in payouts myself, and also $1 million collectively from my students. Now, at the moment of filming this video, I'm up $2,000 on this challenge. It would have been $12,000, but I tilted and I had a very expensive coffee and then ended up losing $10,000 plus more on other accounts. However, that's cool. We all make mistakes and we all will be better from that. And that's not what this video is about. So what I am here to talk about in this video is 5 things. Number 1, what challenge am I thinking of going with FundedNext and why? Number 2, my impressions so far off of the company. Number 3, the discussion briefly about why I'm still trading in the FX prop firm space as opposed to the futures. Because as you may see, a lot of people and quote unquote influencers or content creators like myself have gone towards the futures route, why I decided to choose FundedNext, and then last but not least, what my steps are. So FundedNext, welcome to my bootcamp. So this is the one time in a year that you get to learn from me one-to-one on a mentorship where I teach you everything I know about trading. We have guest speakers. So for this time round, we have Kyle, aka JCat, we've got Nasir, aka Urimi, we've got Komi, who has 25 million AUM, and potentially Isaac as well. Now these may change, but regardless, we've got 4 speakers. I teach you for 1 week straight. So the Saturday and the Sunday, we have a whole refresher. I'm teaching you how to trade, the truth behind trading, you know, your drawdown, your mantra, your journal, and overall A+ setup, and the visionary of how to become the trader you said you wanted to become. And by the end of Sunday, you're going to have a very, very clear understanding of what it takes to trade. Now that's great. Now the best part of this, we will live trade throughout the whole week from Monday to Friday, showing you how I do my pre-market routine along with the guest speakers, along with reviews. So on the notes of reviews, one of the biggest reasons of why I was able to get all of these certificates up there, which is up to 2.5 million funding and up to 400K in payouts. Not just that, we have Jan, one of our students who did 500K in funding this year, Chloe, who's also just got secured her payouts and also her funding. We've got Johan as well, we've got Corey, we've got Anton, we've just got amounts of people who have testimonials who have not just improved and actually achieved profitability in trading, but they've also become better humans and the people they said they would be by being more disciplined, such as the priming effect and all of these things. Now you will get a personalized journal that will come with this. You will get a worksheet, you get a live session with me, you get to learn from me. It's intense. You get to have every understanding you can. You get to ask questions on the guest speakers, and this is just a whole week, so it's less than £80 a day for the whole sessions to become the trader you said you would become. Not just that as well, from that we're going to be giving you the whole resources, and I will journal with you. So if you are interested, you can secure your slots down below. We only have 25 spaces for the one-to-ones, and then we have 60 spaces for the spectator. Now the differences between this is the one-to-ones, you're going to get the Saturday and Sunday sessions live. You're also going to get a review session. I'm also going to review your journal throughout the year as well. So the 50 seats for the spectators, you get to join the live trading and you get the recording. Alongside with that, you have your own journal, but unfortunately I just cannot review all of these journals. Plus I want to give more of my time for those one-to-ones, for those who are in that position to really take it to the next level. And you can ask any of the previous one-to-one students and also the previous bootcamp students on how the bootcamp went, and it's always been a 10 out of 10 review. So I look forward to seeing you in the bootcamp, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for coming onto this page anyway, and regardless, we are still working very hard to give you content, whether you are ready to join now or ready to join next year. Either way, I appreciate every single one of you, and let's make ourselves proud. I have 4 types of challenges, and the one that I've kind of spent the most amount of time on is looking at the Stellar Challenge. The Stellar Challenge is the kind of the one that's closest to the most traditional type of challenge that is out there. They've got the 2-step and the 1-step. So the 2-step, they have an 8% profit target and then a 5% profit target, which is quite standard, and I quite like that. I don't see a consistency rule at the moment on any of their challenges. More importantly, the 1-step is really attractive to me. If you follow me, I am a big fan of 1-step. I'm a big fan of 2-step as well, and I think it's important to have both in your portfolio. One of the mindsets that I believe in is infinite is not do one thing but do both that help you attain to your goal. So my goal is 1 million payouts, right? It doesn't say that I have to stick to 2-step challenges the whole way. I could use a 1-step challenge here and there. I could have 5 of them that are 1-step, 500k, so 100k each at 1-step. I could also do another 1 million worth of challenges that are a 2-step. So I have my 1-step where I could slowly grow, slowly secure profits because I'm able to get funded quicker, and I could use my 2 steps to take it a bit slower. But when I am funded, I've got more buffer and more room, because the major difference between the 2-step and a 1-step is the drawdown. So 1-step challenge, there is a 6% drawdown limit, whereas in a 2-step challenge there is a 10% drawdown limit. So that's number 1 in terms of what challenge am I thinking of. So number 2 is my impression so far off of FundedNext. I must say the dashboard is clean, and it's one of those things I wish I kind of came towards FundedNext a little bit earlier, but do you know what, shoulda, woulda, coulda, and it was just not at the right timing. I was trying multiple of different firms, and I must say that the dashboard is really clean. It's very easy to use. The user interface is very much there. I will do a full review video where I'm actually going through the website or whatnot, but I just wanted to talk about the impressions that I've got so far. I've seen a lot of payouts that have actually been paid through. More importantly, I've seen a guy that I kind of know but not know, and he shared a lot of his payouts that he's actually received. I think he's got up to nearly 100k worth of payouts from that one company, and I know he's been paid out by multiple companies as well, and that to me just goes to show that they are able to pay. Not only that, they are the second biggest at the moment in the whole prop firm industry. More importantly, they've got the right rules. They even have a book release. They've worked with people like Burns and Sanj. I've even done a podcast with them as well, if you've seen or not seen that yet. And a really strong positive factor that I've seen is that they've just stood the test of time. That's like probably the number 1 thing we will look for when it comes to any prop firm, is like, how long have they lasted? What is the kind of overall experience and the brand name that they have, and how has it been? Because one of the biggest things is throughout this whole time of this whole prop firm journey and this whole prop firm industry, it doesn't matter. Like, you could breathe and someone could not like it. And that's the problem with freedom of speech to some degree. There are people who are not educated, people who bring all of these things. For example, they break a rule, but then go and blame the company for that rule. A prime example is, I've just had that recent lesson myself, is someone has entered into our course, is basically saying that it doesn't work, but out of 150 people and there's one person complaining, I can't stop anything from that. And that is just the mentality of the people. And it's more important that we must do your own research and understand, is it right for me? Is that company what that one person says? Look at the whole picture and take it from there. It's just like media, right? Like just media in general. They can portray something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's the truth. And it doesn't also necessarily mean it's the experience that you will have. It could be true, but it might not be the experience you should have. What's important is to go and try it. So the same thing, I've made this video, I'm going to go and try them, but you might not get the same experience. But what you can learn from this video is my experience so far, my thought process, and plus you've seen my journey, seen who I am. I'm able to give you a little bit of a further in-depth point of view, and you're able to take it from there. So that then brings me into number 3 of why I'm sticking to FX prop firms as opposed to futures for the time being. And the reason is I must lie, futures is confusing. Now, I have figured it out to some degree, but the two things I really don't like is how aggressive the consistency score is. I think it is good because it will make me a better trader, but I just don't feel like I'm ready for that just yet. I'd rather stick to the current consistency scores in the FX prop firms and also able to get the payouts quicker. The other thing I've started to see is I've seen quite a few denied payouts in the future space. So I feel like, and I'm not saying this is the case, it's just that futures was so early, and it still is early. It's kind of like where the FX prop firm space was a year and a half ago. Everyone's flocking to it. It looks like a great model. Everyone's opening a firm. All these is making it easier. It's in the trader's favor. And that just doesn't seem like an ingredient for longevity. And why? Because understand this, a prop firm must be profitable in order to sustain, right? Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But also what's important is it must be able and ability to be able to have the traders enjoy trading that is realistic. Does that make sense? So if the prop firm was so easy, then the payouts would make no sense. But then if the prop firm was so hard, it'd make no sense for the traders. So it has to be a win-win situation. And let's forget all of that. Well, a broker is a B-book. Brokers basically make money on people losing money. That's how they work. But then you wouldn't have access to the market as a retail trader if there wasn't brokers. So you can always see the full circle of the story. And I think that as we develop and as we can see the full circle, that's how we can develop as our understanding and make a clear, concise judgment that is right for us. Coming on to the last two steps is why I chose FundedNext and what are my next steps. So why I chose FundedNext was, to be honest, they stood the test of time, which is what I mentioned earlier. And there's all the pros and everything put together. I want to accumulate more on my prop firm portfolio. More importantly as well, I'm able to actually have it on MT5. I've started copy trading again, which I never thought I would do. And that's just generally because I've got so many accounts now. I'm starting to get to a point where I was mapping everything out and understanding all my challenges is like, whoa, if I do $3 million worth of challenges, even if I do 400K max allocation, 300K max allocation, 400, let's just say it's 10 accounts in total, I can only rotate 3 at a time. Now, rotation basically is I get a payout, I stop trading that account, I move to another one, and then I rotate. That's what the rotation method is from the Dan Chung method. And I can't do that with 10 accounts. So it has to get to a point where I have to start copy trading them. And that's also the best bit because that's the power of compounding. Because then check this out. If I make 10% on a 100K account, right? So it's 10K, but there are 10 accounts copying, that is 100K. And then I am a 10th of the way to my target in 2025. That's exciting, right? It's really exciting. But now that is the plan. That is the goal. I must execute diligently and make sure that that plan becomes a reality. So that brings me on to the final part of this video is what am I going to do next? Well, I'm going to try this challenge with FundedNext. If they pay me out, every firm that I'm trying is I try 100K or 50K or 200K, just any one of those account sizes. And if I get paid out multiple times, then I look to try and get max allocation for them. As for now, I'm looking to get 100K, get another 100K from another firm and just split my eggs in multiple baskets and make sure that these firms are as legit as they say they are. And I've actually got a video coming out soon already, so make sure you stay up to date. It's about gold scam. That's right, it's a very strong word because I hate that word myself. But if you trade gold on different platforms, there are some brokers that literally go like this. And the reason they do that is because they want you to hit your stop loss a lot more, which makes it more difficult to pass. And they call it quote unquote live simulation. But you call it live simulation, go and get an actual live funded account or a live account with one of the top tier brokers. You will not see that type of price movement. But anyway, let me save that for that video. So make sure you subscribe to take care of that video. So I'm going to get accounts with multiple firms. Going to make sure I can get at least 2 payouts from each one. And then if that's the case and the experience has been good, then I will look to get max allocation. So make sure you follow my FundedNext journey. I've also got some other firms and other challenges as well. So there'll be another video you can check out on my YouTube channel saying I bought 760K worth of challenges. It's either 400 or 760. Haven't made it just yet because at this current moment in time, I've bought 300. I'm going to get one more, but I might get the other 360 now. But I've decided I will get 760 in total within the next 2 weeks. It's just I want to give myself some room to trade them and then move on. So if you want to follow that journey, Telegram, Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff is there. More importantly, on YouTube is where we get the longer form series. And last but not least, let's end this video with a giveaway. So what we're going to do is give away 5 10K challenges in this video. That's right, 5 10K challenges. All you have to do is like this video, share it and subscribe. Simple. Like, share and subscribe. And then after you've done all of those, drop a comment down below of what you would like to see on this series. So it helps me come up with ideas. So do you want me to take multiple challenges? Do you want me to document more of my trading? What would you like to see? I did a whole FTMO series, which you can go check out, where I shared all the trades, shared the breakdown, shared me failing, but more importantly, I got the payout and I gave it to my mum. Now, what do you guys want to see in this series? Because ultimately I'm creating this series for me and for you. So drop a comment below. Good luck to the people who entered the giveaway. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Champ out. Peace.